I'm Mrs. Townsley.
And I'm Mrs. Sigman.
And I'm the reading specialist here at the high school. And Mrs. Sigman and I, we co-teach the literacy enrichment class together.
I am one of the English teachers in the department here at the high school, and I teach a number of other English classes here. One of the reasons why we co-teach this class is that it's really anchored around rotating through different elements so that we're able to provide very targeted supports to our students and personalize the program for skills, particularly in reading, writing, speaking, and listening that translate not just to English classes, but to their other content areas as well.
So we do individualized instruction a lot, and we're able to work one-on-one with students or even try to get into smaller groups when we're doing the socially distancing and everything.
We know that this year has started out a little crazy and different from other years, so we've been adapting to the hybrid model, but one of the things we wanted to share with you is that whether your students are working here in the classroom with us or working from home, they will be going through similar elements in all of their blocks. And so one of the things we want to share is kind of on the parent end, what you can be talking to your child about, and some of the things you can be expecting them to work on almost on a daily basis, with a few exceptions where we may do a lesson really targeting a specific skill or where they may have time devoted to working on a project. Our other blocks really revolve around three key connected elements of the program.
So one of the connected elements is going to be our workbooks. Your child will have their workbook. They should have it with them every day. This is something that we use almost every day, and it is broken down again into like different units and sections that focus on key ideas and details and different reading techniques that your child should know.
The district actually very generously just updated this program for us. So one of the really neat features of it is that the workshops, which are the units, are anchored around topics that have a great deal of relevance. There's a lot of current event kinds of things, and they pull text from different types of materials. So they're reading things that really look like real world pieces and things that they would see in their various curriculum areas, including some of the electives and programs they may be interested in pursuing in their future. This is to familiarize them with strategies that help them to navigate those texts, but also one of the goals is just to expose them to different topics of interest, to help them really start refining what they're passionate about. And part of what we talk about a lot in this class is, what does that future path look like for you here at school and beyond?
So one of the things that we also really try to do with the workbook and the strategies that they're learning is also how to apply them within their other content areas. So there might be some days that we'll have them working with more social studies text or science text or any other content areas and show them that the reading strategies that they're learning in their English classes and also within our class should be applied within those areas as well.
And to build on that, one of the things that we really emphasize in this class is we do have our own curriculum. And so we are working through things. They get a grade for this course. They owe us work. But there are places built in where at the end of a certain workbook lesson, we'll ask them, how does this apply to some of your other courses, so that we're able to directly help them to make that transfer. Okay, right now, maybe I'm struggling in the science or the social studies. We just worked this workbook skill. Let's look at some of the work you have for those courses and see, can we apply this strategy here to maybe open up and help you to approach those texts in other ways. So we will often talk to students not just about their grades in this class, but their assignments, their upcoming assessments, and the day-to-day activities that they're seeing in the other classes to really help them to see how what we're doing here goes beyond the kind of these classroom walls into the other areas that they're working on.
So one of the things with the workbooks that Mrs. Sigman was talking about is it does break it down into different texts, but the other thing that it really works through is the different writing that your child will see in their other content areas as well as their English. So we also will be doing some different writing with your child and helping them become better writers.
So typically in the block, after they check in with us, whether in person or at home, the workbook is on a typical day kind of the first thing we really work on. And that actually has kind of two components to it. Usually we'll be guiding them through something that's a little more of a traditional formal instruction, whether that's us actually speaking and engaging with them. Sometimes they may be navigating through videos that we've posted to them, and really kind of getting introduced to the skills and the concepts of it. Then after we've done the more guided portion of it, there's typically a more independent work that is expected of the students as they complete some of the questions and the activities in the workbook to really see if they are able to take what they have learned and answer questions about it and apply it. And so they're usually moving through those two connected elements near the first third or half of our block.
Then for the second half, another third of it, is they work on this Read 180 software. Now that is individualized for each child. So when they first came here, they completed what was called a reading inventory. And that helped us see where they would be at in their reading level and where they should be at in their Read 180 software. So the Read 180 software will guide them through different things. It will guide them through some of the reading. It will guide them through some vocabulary and some spelling and just working with words. It will also guide them through some writing as well.
And the different skills that Mrs. Townsley is referring to are kind of set up as what's called zones, if you ever kind of are looking over your child's shoulder and seeing this. And so it moves them through these things to see how the skills connect, but also how they're kind of distinctive pieces that we do. And like she said, there's various different topics that they'll work through. They'll do several different segments of that, and that's pretty much a daily task that they navigate. The program itself then is something they can access here at school and at home. They have their login, and we've already started that. Many of them are getting close to finishing their first segment with that. And so they will continue with that through the semester. That program gives us a wealth of data that we will then be able to share back with the students and really look at where are your specific strengths that we're seeing, where are some of your areas of struggle, and then the other thing that enables us to do is really look at some targeted, personalized strategies, practice, and instruction to help them see how they might build on the strengths they have, but also kind of reinforce, practice, and strengthen those areas that are currently, a struggle or an area for improvement for them.
And our goal is to have them do this for 20 minutes each day, just so they can continue practicing with those skills. And then the other item that we do, which would be the third portion of our class, is going to be their independent reading. So we really are trying to get the students to have a love of reading, or even just kind of enjoy reading, or find something that they enjoy and they could pick up and read. So that is something that we also are working on as well.
With that, some of what you could do at home to really support our goals in this class is simply asking your child what they're reading right now. They all have books in their hands at the current moment that they've started, and then they will continue to do that. So again, we're reading on a daily basis, so they should really be able to verbalize and share with you, talk about the book they're reading, and we want that to be something that they like, that they're connecting to. So, if they're struggling to do that at home, you can encourage them to talk to us about that. One of the other skills we really work on in here is being able to talk about, speak, share your ideas. They do some recordings for us as part of the software, and we do a lot of different discussions and things like that. So really helping them to be able to articulate and put into words their own ideas, but also then to share what they've been working on is a really important skill that they will have. So that's one of the things. Another thing you can do is just ask them some of their strengths that they're building on. We really talk a lot about in here. Our opening unit was on something that we like to call, they call growth mindset, and setting goals and working towards improvement and looking for things that are positives. And And we really try and enforce that. We do a weekly check-in where we have them log into PowerSchool and look at their grades and figure out what they need to work on to build some of those skills of initiative and ownership of their learning. And so anything that you can do, just asking them, how are your grades going? What's going well for you this week? Do you need to ask help from any of your teachers, and encouraging them to really take responsibility on that would really kind of reinforce a lot of what we're seeing as key to being successful here in the high school and beyond.
The other thing that we're really trying to help our students be able to do and feel confident in doing is becoming an advocate for themselves. So if they have questions, or if they need help with something, that they're messaging their teachers on Schoology or asking their teachers in person for that assistance. So that is something else that we are trying to really stress within our class, is to become a self-advocate.
And I guess the only other thing I would say is, if you have any questions at any time, we are here. You can always email us. If you would prefer to have that phone call where we can discuss things, you can call the high school office and they would put it through to us. If we can't respond at the time, we get a message that we could contact you back. We are here. If you have any questions, again, we know that this is an unusual school year. So if there's anything we can do, if we don't have the answers on it, we will go and find them. But we really want to be, that support. We have these students first block, so we're the way they kick off their day. And so anything we can do to make their days and their overall semester and school year, a success is what we're trying to build.
And one thing that we will do is we will email you frequently to let you know how your child is doing within our class, but also their other classes. And that is something that we will do, like I said, frequently. And we'll also try to put in any missing work that they have within those classes too. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you.